And welcome to the United Stand. This is the Manchester United versus Liverpool preview. But on top of that, it is also a reaction to what has been quite a stunning interview that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has given to Sky Sports and Gary Neville. Really, really surprising. Some people would say encouraging, because what you can say, and we'll go through it all, he was asked about what he thinks about the fans, what he thinks about Rashford, what he thinks about the January transfer window, what he thinks about Manchester United's future. But what you cannot take out of that is that, one, Ole is loading excuses up for Sunday, I believe, and two, he is totally in control of signings, the lack of signings, the signings that are going to come in. That's from his mouth. I don't believe that, but that's his risk. He's saying that I make the decisions on the players that come in and come out, and we know we had a bad summer, so why are we blaming Woodward and everyone? Because Ole's taking ownership. And I think that's very brave, and I think it's very stupid, and I don't think it's even true. I don't think Solskjaer came out of that summer with what he wanted, but he's saying that he did. We'll get into that in a moment, but it is Manchester United versus Liverpool, and there was a talk of getting results back on track, and he says it has been down to injuries, and when we get all our players back, we will get back on track. And I think that I want to just start off with that and say, look, I got very, very, yes, it's a nice t-shirt. You can get the United Stand t-shirts. The link are in the video description. The complete range. We'll look at that in a minute, but you get them link in the video description in all different colours. But I want to start with this United Liverpool preview, obviously. And I don't want excuses. I said this last night and I'll say it again because it is the preview. I don't want excuses. I'm not going to listen to excuses. I went into it on a big reason last night, but the point is that, you know, whether it's Everton, Liverpool, or it's Man City when they were shit against United, or Liverpool when they were shit against United, they were never easy games. They were never easy games. So to use excuses ahead, look, this is Liverpool, Manchester United. It's not Manchester United against Cardiff. It's Manchester United against Liverpool. You cannot go into it offering up excuses about injuries. You can't just think, let's get this out the way and then we get people back fit and then the rebuild starts. It's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen. If we lose on Sunday, there will be repercussions, and that's all I'm going to say. And it's not a threat, because I don't know how I'll react to it. I don't know how you'll react to it, but there will be repercussions because you gauge yourself against Liverpool at Old Trafford. That's what we do every single year. It's a statement. It's a level that you understand after the game. And I think with Solskjaer coming out and saying, well, you know, he was asked directly about the results and he mentioned injuries, and he said, when I get De Gea and Pogba and Martial and Lingard back, you'll see an improvement. But who are you talking to here? Like, I want to find the positives at Manchester United. I really, really do. But I won't stand back and take excuses just because it comes from a legend. The reality is, we had Pogba, we had Martial, and we drew with West Ham. We drew with Wolves and we lost to Crystal Palace. And we had our best team. So it's not like they've never played. They played against Wolves, we bottled it. They played against Palace, that was the third game, wasn't it? We lost. So, and it's only two players really. I mean, Lingard, whatever. Romero's a good goalkeeper, so De Gea's a loss, but, you know, Romero's a good goalkeeper. Really, what he's saying is, when we get Pogba and Martial back, we'll be fine. That's two players, mate. Well, Manchester United, you can't be totally reliant on two players. Getting Lingard back, why? He's been absolutely pants for 8 months. So his injury means nothing. And he's at, you know, can I just say about Lingard as well? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when we did the video last night confirming that De Gea and Pogba were out, he also confirmed that Lingard was out. I didn't even know he'd said that because it's so irrelevant. Nobody even bloody reported it. But Lingard is definitely out of the game on Sunday, which is why he's not in the lineup I'll go into in a moment. But Pogba and Martial are out. Yes, they're important players, but come on, you know, we cannot hide behind two injuries. It's not enough. We shouldn't be hiding behind injuries anyway. So I don't want excuses. Yeah, I wish Martial was fit and I wish Pogba was fit and I wish De Gea was fit, but we can't be hiding behind that. We're Manchester United, for God's sake. I think United should hire Roy Keane as manager, says Gregory Walker. I'd be very, very, very surprised if we did. And the annoying thing is that we won't lose to Liverpool, meaning that as far as Woodward will be concerned, we're back, says Gabriel Goldmeister. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment because the interview with Ole is really interesting and I really want to get into that, but we've got to cover the Liverpool versus United preview first. And look, that's the team I think he'll go with. And we'll definitely play 4-2-3-1. We will definitely play two holding midfielders. He might drop Lindelof for Tuanzebe, I must just say. He might do that. And if he does, I don't have a massive problem with it. If he picks Lindelof over Tuanzebe, I don't have a massive problem with it. I don't think Lindelof deserves to be dropped. But then again, I thought Tuanzebe played well against Newcastle. So the back four, I don't expect Luke Shaw to play. I think that Luke Shaw is only just back from fitness and he will play Ashley Young. McTominay will obviously play. I assume he'll go with Fred, but I fear he might go with Matic. If he goes with Matic, it's over. The game's over. But I'm hoping he'll go with Fred next to McTominay. Obviously, Pereira's going to be out on the right wing. Total waste of time. He's not even a right winger. James will play off the left. Rashford up front. And then he'll play Mata because there's nobody else. Like Lingard's injured. Pogba's injured. He can't put Pereira in the middle because who's going to play on the right? So we're going to have Mata, Pereira and potentially Matic playing. I mean, you know, it's not ideal, is it? But that's nothing to do with Pogba and Martial being injured. We didn't buy enough in the summer. That's what it comes down to. I said yesterday Norwich had about 6 or 7 injuries against Man City and still beat them. It puts that excuse to bed, and Norwich don't have Pogba and Martial, says Jordan Such. Absolutely spot on. And Alex Pekweczki says, Mark, I believe that in order to restore some dignity in our players, we need to get Bale, Eriksen and Rice in the winter. All would be available. Thoughts? You know, at this point, I wouldn't mind Gareth Bale. I didn't want him in the summer because I thought we were going to have a really good summer. We had a terrible summer, so I would have took Bale. Lee Geldart says, I fear for Ollie after Sunday, when a car starts breaking down, you have to decide whether to keep paying for new parts or getting a new one. P.S. Well done for carrying on the show on Tuesday. Inspirational. Thank you, Lee. And also, yeah, you just reminded me, thanks for everybody who messaged me and emailed me about Tuesday. I don't think it was a big achievement. I just think you need to be honest about these sort of things. If you're having a bad day, let people know. And I let you lot know. And a lot of you reacted really well. So thank you very much. That's the community that we have. It was either don't do a show or do a show and be honest. And I went with the latter and I'm very, very glad I did. But let me just say, Manchester United are full steam ahead in reverse. That's what I feel about United at the moment. I've done a lot of analogies in the past, but thinking about United at the moment, everything we're saying is we've got the foot down, and we have got the foot down, but unfortunately the gear stick's in reverse. And I think we are going backwards, full steam ahead. Nick P says, so Liverpool now have a couple of days knowing exactly what team we're playing and who's fit, so he can carefully plan his tactics. Well done, Ollie. Utterly clueless. I'm so sad about how inept he is. I don't think Jurgen Klopp has a hard job. He could go and have a couple of days in Mallorca and smoke his cigar like he does in the summer, because ultimately this game will be won or lost on how Liverpool approach it. If Liverpool want to take a point from Old Trafford like they did last February and think that's good for the title race, they'll take a point. If Liverpool want to go for it, they go for it. United aren't. I thought one of the best lines Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out of in the interview about the Liverpool game was, Liverpool won't come and park the bus, so it'll be an open game. And I was like, what? Since when have United played an open game? We are part the bus. Now, some people don't like it when I say this. Oh, his tactics aren't to park the bus. We press more than anybody. How many shots on goal do we have? How many times do we actually create a chance? And how many men do we get behind the ball when we haven't got the ball? We are a part of the bus team. We're slow, pragmatic. I know part of the bus literally means getting everybody in the box and not going forward. And I know we do try to go forward. But for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to say, Liverpool won't come and park the bus, so it'll be a nice open game. We've not played an open game in bloody ages. We don't play open game football. We hit teams on the break. We sit back and hit teams on the break. So that made me laugh for a start. But we can't go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. I'm sorry. Tactically, let's just get it over in 30 seconds and get on with what Ollie said in the interview, because it's going to be gold, that. But we haven't got a chance of going on the front foot against Liverpool. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't do it either, because look at that team on the left. Would you go on the front foot with that shit? No way. No way would you. I wouldn't. So Ollie's going to park the bus, and that's what will happen. So we haven't got a game plan, really. What our game plan is, try and keep a clean sheet and nick a goal at the other end. That's what we'll try and do. Simple as that. So there is no tactical masterclass required from Klopp. He's got to break his way through our team once, and that's it. He'll take 3 points. We're a clean sheet or nothing team. Same as Leicester. Against the top 6, we need a clean sheet or we ain't even going to get a point. 5-4-1 versus Liverpool. Tuanzebe, Lindelof, Maguire, centre-backs, says Pete Squire. I thought about the 5-4-1, but then I thought, well, why would we do a 5-4-1 when we've never done it before? And a 5-4-1 is it's either a ridiculously defensive performance because you've got 5 defenders, or it's an attacking performance because your fullbacks basically play like wing-backs. I can't see us doing either. You can't have 5 defenders at Old Trafford and sit. I mean, one of the big issues on Sunday is going to be if we do sit back it ain't going to take long for the Old Trafford crowd to get frustrated. They're going to. I think it's going to be an interesting watch along on Sunday because we're not going to go toe to toe with Liverpool, and I think frustrated fans will start to get frustrated after about 20 minutes. But I'm not even going to moan about that. We can't do that. We haven't got a team good enough to go toe to toe with Liverpool. We've just got to try and nick it. That's what we've got to try and do. If we're going to win, we're going to win by 1 goal. That's about it. Make sure you smash a like on the video, everyone. Let's get into the worst. Brian Murphy says this is the worst United team ever. Fact. I think that team is shit. I don't want to swear so early in a show because I'm feeling quite relaxed tonight. But that team's awful. It is, like Brian says, that's one of the worst teams we've ever sent out in a Manchester United Liverpool game. It's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. But let's get into what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in this interview. It was with Gary Neville. It was on Sky Sports yesterday. Some absolutely fair play, Gary Neville. Some really good questions. It makes you think and realise why Gary Neville will never slate Ollie, because they are mates, and they are clearly mates. But some of the questions were really good. But the answers from Ollie, if you're not aware of this interview, fasten your seatbelts because it's about to get interesting. There's about 6 or 7 quotes I need to read to you. The first one is, this is from Ollie. We're 1 or 2 players light, but if the right ones are available in January, then we might do something. If not, these players will give everything. So he admits we're 1 or 2 players light, but if the right ones are available in January, we might do something. If not, these players will give everything. I've never seen a sentence so flawed. 1, why are we 1 or 2 players light? Why are a club like Manchester United coming into a season 1 or 2 players light? It's not a bloody make-believe pantomime that we're playing in. We're playing in the Premier League season. Every Premier League season used to mean something to United. We used to want to bloody win it every year. And now we're coming into seasons 1 or 2 players light. Why? Why is that even acceptable for a manager of Manchester United to admit we've come into a season 1 or 2 players light? If that was Mourinho, if that was Moyes, if that was Van Gaal, we'd go mad. But because he's a bloody legend, he gets away with it. Why are we 1 or 2 players light? Why? Is it down to you? Is it down to the board? Why the bloody hell are we 1 or 2 players light? It is unacceptable. And then the second point is, if we don't do any business in January, these players will give everything. These players haven't given everything for 3 fucking years. So why would they give everything in January? They're either absolutely shit or they're not giving everything. And I don't believe all those players are absolutely shit. So they're certainly not giving everything. So what's that all about? They'll give everything. They're not giving everything now, mates. They've just got embarrassed by Newcastle, West Ham, Crystal Palace. They're not giving everything because they are the 4th best paid club in the bloody world, wages-wise. They're not giving everything or we wouldn't be in this position. So I found that one stunning. We're 1 or 2 players light and this squad will give everything. When I just find that absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I saw that this morning. And a manager of Manchester United is sat there saying it, not even thinking it through. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, Gary Neville then said to him, one of the criticisms I had, Ollie, was that any manager's going to struggle at Manchester United if they haven't got the right structure above it, and I fear that they haven't. Have you got the right structure? So basically, what Gary Neville was saying to Ollie is, this is your opportunity to say it's not all your fault, it's on the board and stuff like that, which we all know is true. Ollie played the straight bat. He said, Ollie said it's a long-term thing, a 3-year plan. Recruitment plan is in place, and I'm 100% happy with the structure, and it's right because it's always the manager who has the final say. So basically, Solskjaer is saying that he's 100% happy with the structure of the club, i.e. Woodward and the Glazers. It's a 3-year plan. The recruitment plan is in process for the future, and the most important thing is that the manager always has the final say. He has absolutely owned it. There is no grey area with that statement. He has absolutely owned it. I'm 100% happy with the board. I am 100% in charge. I make all the decisions and we've got a plan. So when it comes down to lack of recruitment in the summer, blaming the board and Woodward, our manager is saying it's 100% down to him and he's 100% happy with that. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I actually think, you know what? If Ollie wants to take the blame for everything, he's just gone and done it. And that's as simple as that. How could he have answered the question? I don't know, to be fair. How do you answer that question? No, I'm not happy with the structure. I didn't get the players I wanted. That may well be the truth. I suspect it is. But Ollie's decided to own it, and he's going to have to turn this around because He said that he's in charge. He makes the decisions. So there you go. Unfortunately, I've been a Man United fan after Sir Alex. I've never seen a successful Manchester United. I only know about the Liverpool derby and more of Man United because of you, says Dipanshu Kumar. Wake up, Mark, says the world you inhabit is not real, says CC. Yeah, we don't need any of that Matrix shit, mate, or the Truman Show. Imagine if it was the Truman Show and you're all playing. I'm just playing a part. Jared Schultz says, "Thank you for the contribution, pal." He's trying to stay in the job by pleasing the hierarchy, says Samuel R. Yes, he is. He is, and to be honest, I don't know how he's meant to answer that question. But ultimately, if you come out and say, "I'm 100% in charge. I'm 100% happy with the structure," you're basically in bed with the Glazers and Woodward, and you're basically saying that the lack of signings in the summer was down to you. And I wouldn't want to own that, to be honest, but Ollie has. Michael Mayer Star says, sack Ollie now. Either he really does have the final say and was okay with this squad, or he's a puppet and nothing will change. In a harsh way, I don't like that statement, but in a harsh way, I think you put it probably right. Either he really does have the final say and was culpable himself in the summer, or he's covering for the board and he's a puppet. Either way, nothing will change. But you know what? The biggest thing that frustrates me as well, and I've said it a few times, is this constant talk about the future. The constant talk about the future is just, it's not right. I've never known a big club talk about a 3-year plan. It's all right to be shit now because in 3 years we're going to be good. That's not... Since when has that ever been a thing? I mean, am I the only United fan feeling this? Like, why is it acceptable to be shit now because we might be good in 3 years? I just, there's got to be some positivity. If you're going to say we're going to be good in 3 years, there's got to be something happening now that's good. And I don't see anything good now. So it's like a pyramid scheme. Has anyone heard of a pyramid scheme? It's basically a fraud where somebody promises something and everyone contributes to it. And then there's layers and layers and layers. And the person at the top of the pyramid basically takes all the money and pisses off. But there's so many layers to the pyramid that it takes so long to find out who the ultimate liar is that you've all lost your money and they're long gone. So they call it like a pyramid fraud. And it feels a little bit like that at United because they want all your money. They want your shirt sales. They want your merchandise. They want your ticket sales. They want you there every week. So they're taking your money on this promise of Ollie's at the wheel. In 3 years, it's going to be great. But it's horrible now. But we still keep paying the money because in 3 years, it's going to be great. And then in 3 years, when it's not great, they've had 3 years of revenue in their pocket. They've got away with it, basically. Just lie long enough. Basically, we're screwed, but just keep lying, and we've just got to keep taking the money as long as we can, and then we'll sell it. And that's basically what's happening at United, because there is no sprout of positivity at the moment. It is all about 3 years' time, and we're all being played. That's how I feel. We're all being played. It's all a lie, and there will be no positive. Because the big thing about the 3-year plan for me is what's going to change with Liverpool and Man City and Chelsea and Arsenal. And even Spurs, they've all got long-term plans. They've all got good teams. They're all going to keep buying good players. So, when are we going to become that good? They're not going to get any worse. So, when are we going to become that good that we're good enough? It's a huge leap. And we're not even showing any positivity. Sean Turner, how can you believe what Ollie says? Before the end of the season, he lied to us about players queuing up to join. He's a puppet. Bit harsh. Anyway, let me tell you some other stuff that he said. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes. Gary Neville said to him, in relation to the recruitment of players, it's been a bit hard because every manager that's come in has got rid of the previous manager's players. Moyes did it, got rid of some of Sir Alex's. Then Van Halen got rid of some of Moyes. Mourinho came in and got rid of a load of Van Hals. And now Ollie's coming in and he's getting rid of a lot of Mourinho's. It's a cycle that causes a lot of problems. Ollie said every manager gets their own sort of their nod from the previous manager's players. And the constant reset's a problem. But manager has the final say on who comes and who goes, says Ollie. And that's the way it is. So again, he's saying that he's got the final say on who comes and who goes. He said that the money, and this is the big one. Get ready for this one. This might bother you a little bit. He said, from Ollie's mouth, the money is there. We were close to a couple of players, but it's not right if you don't get the right players. The money is there for January. So, this was a head screw for me. The money is there, which he said twice now. We were close to a couple of players, but it's not right if you don't get the right players. And the money is still there in January. So, we had a net spend of £60 million. Pitiful for a club of our size which is trying to rebuild. Ollie is saying that the money was there. the money was there if we wanted to spend it, but there were players, but they weren't the right players. So this is, I can't find an excuse for this one. I'm sorry. You read it how you like, but I'm reading it like this. The money was there, the right players weren't there, so we bought nobody, and if the right players are there in January, the money is there. Right, okay. Tielemans was available, Partey was available, Bruno Fernandes was available, Timo Werner was available, Lozano was available. You know, there's a list of 10 players that would walk into our club, laugh at everything we've got, and be the best player we've got in the team. But they're not the right player. This is where it's flawed. The money was there, but the right players weren't. What a load. Mate, you're playing Fred in the midfield. You're playing Pereira on the right wing. You're playing Grandad Mata as the number 10. You're playing Lingard, who's been crap for 8 months. Like, you're telling me the money's there, but there wasn't right players in the summer better than this shit that we've got. I mean, come on. You know, it's a statement, but there's no meaning. I can talk words. I'm the sexiest man in the world. Women are queuing up to sleep with me. It's just words. This doesn't mean it's not true. It's a statement, but it's not true. And the money is there, but the right players weren't. That's why we didn't buy anybody. I think that is one of the worst. Again, if this was Mourinho, he would get slaughtered. But because it's Ollie, people want to go, he won't be held for ransom. He won't be held to ransom. I'm from Leeds. I don't know why I support Manchester United, but I'm from Leeds. I won't be held to... Ollie's a good man. He won't be held to ransom. We've got loads of money, but why should we spend it on Bruno Fernandes when we've got Scott McTominay? We don't need to. Ollie's at the wheel. He knows what he's on about. We've got the right money. I'm going a bit mank now. He's going right. He's Ollie going to Solskjaer. He's got the money. He don't want to spend it. He's right. You know. Ollie's at the wheel. You know, and it's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. That is, I'm a puppet on a string. Ollie, I'm a puppet on a string. He is a puppet on a string. Because if the money's there, if you were Manchester United manager and you had £100 million, you don't turn round to Woodward and go, have it back. I'm happy with what I've got. You go, give me that bloody money, get out. I'll get me Bruno Fernandes, get me Thomas Partey now, and I want another 100. You don't go, thanks Ed, keep it. I'm happy with what I've got. Let's go. And then the best bit is he's contradicting himself anyway. Brian Murphy says, it's plain to see now Ollie is drinking from the Glazers golden goblet now, Mark. I was pro Ollie, but now, mate, Glazers out. And Ryan FTW says, anyone would think they're using his own money. Why would he care about spending big on players? It doesn't affect his life. Poor excuses. And Kill07 says, I'd like to think the Glazers will see we're at the point where the club value is going down and we'll all start to sell. # wishful thinking. Somebody's just figured it out in the live comments. The biggest contradiction from this Sky Sports interview that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done, and I've already said the two statements, so a lot of you will have figured it out. He says, the money was there, but the right players weren't there, and the money's there in January if the right players are there. He also says, we've come into this season 1 or 2 players light. So, you knew the money was there, but there was no right players, but you still went into the season 1 or 2 players light. Stunning. So you've got the money, but you don't think anyone's there, and you go into the season 1 or 2 players light. I can tell you now, I'm no agent, I'm no coach. If you had money, Bruno Fernandes was available, and he is better than every shit midfielder you've got apart from Paul Pogba. As was Thomas Partey, as was Yuri Tielemans, as was Ndembele. We could have bid for all these players. Maybe we did. But certainly, there's 1 or 2 players that are still at their clubs that wanted to leave and we didn't buy. So, maybe Solskjaer said, I don't want Bruno Fernandes at the end of the day. Get rid of him. He ain't a good enough manager then. You know, you don't have players available who want to come to the club and you've got the money, but you go, I don't want them, and now 1 or 2 players light. It just doesn't even make any sense. You're wrapping yourself up in your own inconsistencies. You're playing into Woodward's hands by blaming Ollie, says CC. I'm not blaming Ollie. I'm just saying his statements don't make any sense. And CC, let's be honest, I did say at the very start, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has played into Woodward's hands, not us. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has put himself into this problem because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we're not speculating here. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's statement is, it's a long-term plan. I'm 100% happy with the structure in place and the recruitment plan that's in place. And it's always the manager who has the final say. How are we playing into Woodward's hands when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself is saying, I'm happy with Woodward, I'm in charge of anyone who comes in and comes out? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's owning the issue. He is saying, I'm the reason we're 1 or 2 players light. I'm the reason we didn't spend money. He's not. He's totally owning it. So I'm sorry. I don't want to blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the summer, but he's saying it's down to him. What are we supposed to do as fans? We know who we want to blame, and I think we all know who really is to blame because we've seen it for 6 years and Ollie's only been here 8 months. But Ollie's wanting to take the blame himself. No, it's me. I'm 100% in charge. I'm 100% happy with the board. I don't believe him, but he's taking ownership of it. So what are we supposed to do? Say Ollie's lying? I don't know. All those players you said are European, says Pricey. Well, yeah, but you know we could have bought James Maddison. We probably couldn't, to be fair. What else did he talk about? He spoke about Rashford. Yeah, the best one I want to talk to you about is the fans. He spoke to us about Rashford. He said that what we've seen with Rashford is he's best off the left or in the front two. His movement is great. What is the one thing everybody, Alan Shearer, Ian Wright, all of you have said about Marcus Rashford? His movement is in the box is atrocious. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, one of the best strikers in the Premier League history in relation to scoring goals, says that Marcus Rashford's movement is great. That is a line to make Marcus Rashford feel good, because that is a lie. He knows that's a lie. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not stupid. He's one of the best tactical strikers I've ever seen at reading a game. For him to say Marcus Rashford's movement is great, that's just totally about saying, I'm saying something positive to make Marcus feel good. His movement is lead boots. He doesn't make the runs. And I'm sorry, we can either all pretend or we can all be honest, and we would have had probably 3 or 4 more goals this season if Marcus Rashford knew how to move in the penalty box. He doesn't. He doesn't move in the penalty box. So his movement's not great. As for him saying he's best off the left or in the front two, well, I don't agree. I don't think he's better than Dan James off the left, and we don't play a front two. So, look, you know, any crap striker's better in the front two because they've got somebody else to share the load with. Every top striker nowadays plays up front on their own with a player off them. We ain't ever going to play a front two. So, Rashford's not a striker, is he? He needs to play off the left. Simple as that. Do you think Ollie is happy with the Pogba situation now he is injured, says Jordan Such? No. I think that we forced the player to stay, and he's now... There was all this... Look, I think Paul Pogba's genuinely injured, by the way, but there are people out there saying that Pogba's pissed off with United and in no rush to get back. And would you blame him? Would you blame him, really? He wanted to go in the summer. Lukaku wanted to go in the summer. Sanchez wanted to go in the summer. Who's been the better servant for United? Pogba, Sanchez or Lukaku? Definitely Pogba for me. Who was allowed to go when they asked to go? Sanchez and Lukaku. Pogba gets forced to stay. I can understand Pogba being pissed off. I really can. And if he's not in a rush to get back from injuries, then, you know, that's down to him, isn't it? And it's down to bad management. They shouldn't have forced a player to stay who didn't want to be here. I meant this shows Ollie's lack of Euro players, says Pricey. Yes. Well, Pricey, that goes back to what I said before. Do you really believe that our manager is good enough with the European market? Because we're not signing European players, are we? Anyway, there was a direct question about the fans. What would your message to the fans be? Gary Neville said, what would your message to the fans be? So I'm going to read this as a sort of... a summary of what he said. He said, "Look, you want attacking football. You want attacking football, but let me get this right. I don't want to misquote him. He says you want attacking football, but it also means defending. We haven't always attacked teams. We've got to give the young lads a chance. We're building and recruiting for the future." It's tough now, but the benefit will come down the line. Chelsea was an example of how good we can be, and he also said that it pleases him when fans can see the vision that they're spelling out. So basically what he's saying to the fans is, again, what we constantly keep getting from the club is, ignore the fact that we're shit. In the future, we're going to be good. That's basically the message out of Manchester United, isn't it? If there are no players, why'd they come out in January, says Kirilla Kokolov. I hate the January transfer window. I'd hate the January transfer window. I've said that before, so I don't know why that would be an interesting thing. But, you know, I mean, dissecting what his message to the fans is then, you want attacking football, but it means defending, but it also takes defending. We haven't always been an attacking side. Well, look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Sir Alex Ferguson, to be fair, did used to play defensively in Europe in the Champions League games away. Definitely, you know, he'd win the home games and away from home we'd shut up shop sometimes and take a point. But at Old Trafford under Sir Alex Ferguson, pretty much all the time we've been an attacking side. A couple of times against Wenger's Arsenal side, we used to sit back and hit them on the break because they were a very good team. But 99% of the time under Sir Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford, we were an attacking team. So Ollie's not right there. We're playing defensive at home to Leicester. That would never happen under Sir Alex. So I don't know what he's getting at there. Yeah, we've got young kids to give a chance, and we're building and recruiting for the future. Why, Ollie? Why are we doing that then? Why does everything have to be about the future? Why do we have to buy and bring in young players? I actually don't understand this. This is one thing I was thinking about today. What is the obsession with building for the future? Like, you can build for the future in the now. You can have players that are ready now that are going to be part of the future. They're 24, 25-year-olds. They're established players who are going to be here for 7, 8 years. That's the future. Why are we obsessed with buying 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, 19, 20-year-olds? Why? Because that will be too long. That will take 3 or 4 years to build a team. We can't wait 3 or 4 years. I'm sorry. I don't want us to win the title now, but I want us to be challenging for the title next year or the year after, because that's what managers that are competent do. You cannot have a long-term vision like that. It just doesn't go hand in hand with... I don't know a football club that's ever done this. And all these people who are saying, oh, you've got to give him 3 years. Why? What football club has ever taken 3 years? Even Man City with their oil money started to show progress over the first two years. Klopp over the first 2 years showed progress. Nobody should be allowed 3 years. It's just, as I said, to me it's just coming across as a lie. Oh, let's keep taking everyone's money and bleed every little bit of money that we can and under the pretense that we're going to be good in 3 years. You can buy players for now. Like I said, there were players in the summer that were 23, 24, 25 that would have come in and made us competitive straight away. And we're going down this road of... And there's also this talk about... He mentioned to Gary Neville, look, you were part of the class of 92. We've got young players now. I can tell you right now, our young players are nothing like the class of 92. I think Chong and Gomez need to go on loan in the Championship, and I think Greenwood could be a generational talent if we nurture him correctly. But there is a myth that we develop good youth, by the way. Like, when was the last decent young player that we brought through? Since the class of 92. You've had your Darren Fletchers, your John O'Shea's. You could even throw Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard into that, but they're not top class players. We are a club that's about youth, and we always try to promote youth, but we haven't actually promoted a top class youth player in over 20 years. So why are we suddenly going to do that now? I think Gomez and Chong and Garner and Twansebi and Greenwood, they've got potential, but why are we so sure that they're all going to be top class, the next class of 92? Because, to be honest with you, nurturing them in this team, I just can't see it happening anyway. January transfer window is pointless. Players getting overpriced. They should be signed in the summer to get the most out of them, says Genwell Balandres. Summer transfer window is where it's all at. Shahid says that Martial will play. I don't think he will, Shahid, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say about Martial at the weekend, he's not even training with the team yet. He's doing physio work. So he's not even done a full training session with the team. He's fit, but he's on his way back from fitness. And apparently he's been out for 8 weeks. I didn't realise it was that long. So even if Martial kicks a ball tomorrow with the team on Thursday, they'll probably have Friday off. In fact, Friday's tomorrow. So shit. If he trained today, Friday off, trains on Saturday, do you think he's playing 90 minutes against Liverpool? Even if he does, he's going to be ridiculously rusty. I think at best Martial's on the bench, because I think if we play him, that stinks of desperation. Sir Alex Ferguson, as Manchester United manager, you have a duty and responsibility to entertain. I can't see it right now, unfortunately, says Alex. Welcome to Windsor 1986, Windsor 1986, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Isn't it long-term success the culmination of short-term successes, says Kevin Barrett. Yes, I agree with you. And I just wanted to say this as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that Chelsea was an example of how good we can be. That statement worried me a little bit, but I wanted to bring it up to you. My interpretation of that Chelsea result is that we should easily have been down 2-0 at half-time. Chelsea were the better team. They opened up against us. Lampard was naive, and we hit them on the break. I don't think we played well. I don't think we played a good game. I don't think we dominated the game. I don't think it was the complete performance. I watched it actually this morning. I got the tape out and watched the first half an hour. And purposely because of that statement from Ollie. And I wanted to see if I remembered it rightly. And I watched it, and Chelsea passed us off the park. They were the better team. We were really clinical on the break and fast, which was good. But do I want United to play like that? No, I don't. We got played off the park and hit a team on the break. We played like Burnley do at home to Chelsea. We soaked up pressure and tried to hit them on the break. If Ollie's saying you saw how well we played against Chelsea and that's the blueprint, I'm worried, because what he should have said is you saw how well we played against Spurs in the first half back in January away. That I don't mind, because that was expansive football. That Chelsea performance wasn't even that good, and he's using that as, oh, that's how well we can play. I thought the first half away to Wolves was better, and then we bottled it in the second half. But I personally don't think that Chelsea performance was that good. 4-0 flattered us. We deserved to win, but it flattered us, and we weren't the better footballing side. So that worried me a little bit, that he's quoting Chelsea now as a good performance and how we can play, when I think Chelsea was very much the same as Leicester. We just were quicker on the break. And Chelsea went for us more than Leicester did. 6 years of going backwards, but fans told to be patient when players like Matic, Mata and Young are still in the team with no future to it. It's laughable, says Jordan Such. Yeah, look, in relation to Liverpool, a positive is I think we won't lose. I've predicted this for weeks. I don't think we're going to lose. I think it's going to be 0-0, or we might nick it, or it'll be 1-1. I don't think we'll lose this game. Now, maybe I'm a naive idiot. People say that a lot. But I've got faith that this game is so big and important to us that the players will get it, that the manager will get it, and we'll see shit players play like their life depends on it. And when players play like their life depends on it, you see it all the time. A team that looks like they're going to get relegated goes away to Anfield and wins 3-0 because they're playing for their futures, they're playing for their wages. And I think that United will put in a performance like that on Sunday. I think we'll see something we've not seen it before. We'll probably then drop down the gears and lose to Norwich next week, but I'm expecting, and I'm demanding it. I'm not expecting it, I'm demanding it, because it's the biggest game of the season, regardless of whether we're trying to win the treble or whether we're going to get relegated. It's the biggest game of the season. You don't need a team talk, and the players, if they can't play well in this game, you may as well give them their bloody passport and kick them out the country, because they're no good. So I'm expecting a draw. As naive as that is, why not? We're Manchester United, and that's what I expect. Game same reason as Ollie 2 weeks ago. You told me fool. Gave me same reason as Ollie 2 weeks ago. You told me fool, says Darshan Singhvi. Maybe try and build a coherent statement in the future, because that makes no sense. I don't know what your point was. I don't know whether you're calling me a fool or Ollie a fool, but I don't know what you're on about. Nobody knows the score, says Mindstorm. We need to scout Xavi Simons and Karamenko, Dembele and Bai Konate, says Venzi. I like the look of that Zakari, who plays in Germany. He looks quite good, actually. Jared Wilson says, as a Chelsea fan, we can see Lampard has a way of playing and bringing Cech back in a role where he acts between the first team and the board. United needs similar. Look, Jared, I hate to say it, but we smashed you 4-0 on the opening day of the season. But you could see then that the vision that Lampard had was going to pay off. And it's paying off. That result, in many ways, has really clouded the issue, because anybody can beat anyone one day. It's what you do week in, week out. Will be a close game, in my opinion. Liverpool have not won a game 3 or 4 or 5-0 this season. Don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. We should go old school 4-4-2. We don't have 3 forwards, says Akshi Shastri. We'll get annihilated if we went 4-4-2. The midfield's going to get absolutely bossed as it is. Hope to see how Maguire is going to perform. Future captain, says Brandon Batchelor. Mark, we have no identity, no style and no idea, says Ruth Myers. Remember 1989, says Kyle W. American people are all Liverpool fans. United are losing ground across the globe, says Jonathan London. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, you've got to make your own decision as a United fan. There are still fans out there who are very positive, who say, you know what, we've had the bad times, we've had the good times, so let's have a bit of the bad times. And as I said before, that's like saying, I used to have a house, now I'm homeless, let's embrace it. Bollocks. You've got to fight. You've got to fight every single day to be the best. Second place is nowhere. That's always been the motto of our club. So why is it okay to be shit now? But some fans think it is. Some fans are very angry. Some fans are on the offence. At the moment, I'm very, very angry. I'm very, very angry with the club. You can't get a coherent answer out of it. Everybody's on the same page. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did a very, very surprising thing in that interview with Gary Neville. He basically admitted, whether it's true or not, that it was down to him that we didn't sign the players that we needed, that it's down to him that we're 1 or 2 players short, that it's down to him that we didn't spend money that was there. I think all he's done is put more pressure on himself for those fans who are unsure about him, because he didn't need to say those things. There was an answer there that wasn't that. He didn't need to even talk about the summer. He could have just said, in relation to recruitment in the summer, it didn't quite go the way we planned, but I'm 100% behind the structure that we have. He didn't need to say what he said. And he's basically said, it's down to me that we didn't spend the money that I was given and we didn't bring the players in that we needed to do. And that's failure. That is failure. And you know what? He's owning that failure. And he's owning it on the pitch at the moment as well. So it just puts pressure onto him. And I do feel, as we go into this game, though, that's more a longer term problem, because if results turn around, we'll forget about that anyway. But what worries me is excuses coming out ahead of a game like this. Oh, we've got all these injuries. We haven't actually got that many injuries. We just haven't got a very good squad. So when you lose a Paul Pogba, the rest of your midfield's shit. When you lose a Martial, the rest of your striker force is shit. If Arsenal lose Lacazette, they've got Pepe, they've got Aubameyang, they've got those young players coming through. They've got options. And if they lose Ozil, well, they don't even pick Ozil. They've got loads of options. Look at Chelsea, right? If Chelsea lose Kante, which I think they have over the international break, they've still got Jorginho, Kovacic, Barkley, Mason Mount. They've still got lots of good players. And that's Chelsea, who've had a transfer ban. The problem with United is there is no excuse in relation to injuries. Because if you're saying, oh, we're losing to Liverpool because we haven't got Paul Pogba, you've just said in a different sentence in the same interview, we're 1 or 2 players light, we had the money and I didn't spend it. You can't have it both ways. You can't have excuses about injuries when it's only 1 or 2 players. And in the midfield, we're only missing 1 player in the midfield, by the way. Games are won and lost in the midfield. We're missing 1 player. It's Paul Pogba who doesn't want to be here. That's a bit of a hint that he might have been a problem this season. So you had the money to buy midfielders. You had the money. You're saying the money was there and you didn't do it. But now you want to use it as an excuse to say, oh, Pogba's injured. Nah, you can't do it. I sounded a bit like a sheep there. You can't say we're losing games because we haven't got Pogba and also say I had money to buy players in the summer and I didn't. There is no excuse on Sunday, I'm afraid. You go and get a result or you face the consequences. That goes for the players, the board and the manager. I don't want excuses. I want a point at least. I want some progress, and a point would be progress. But more importantly, I don't want Manchester United to get embarrassed by our biggest rival at our ground. And that's the motivator. The rest of it can fall into place afterwards, but the minimum I expect on Sunday is a point. And I don't think it's too much to ask. Anyway, links in the video description. If you want to get yourself United Stand t-shirts, they are now out and about. I will show you them on the screen there. As you can see, fantastic little design for you there. You can change the colour up as well. I really like the royal blue one with that one. Sexy, everything about it so sexy. We've also got the adored one, which I do adore. I think that's available black or white. I've got both of those. The mixture, lovely shirt, and then the green one's fantastic. I love this one, and at the moment it's very relevant. You can get it in bottle green. Lovely styling on there. You can get it in denim blue. Very nice in the denim blue. That's the one I want next. Melangre grey, not too bad. Not too bad. And also you've got the one that I'm wearing, the United Stand t-shirt, as you can see. What colour are we doing that in? Grey, navy. Navy's quite nice. Navy's very nice with that badge, actually. Stereo red, which is what I'm wearing. And then you've got the 1999 t-shirt. We're thinking of doing a 1989. Give him time. We're back in 1989. But the 99 one's nice because it's got the trophies in the nines, and we're going to party like it's 1999. So links are in the video description for those t-shirts, which you can get. United Stand range. Only been out a week. Coming towards the end of the week, so get yourself one of those. And can you shout out my brother Robin? He's a big fan, says Matthew Goodyear. Hello, Robin. And Nick P says, at school 35 years ago, I got put in a special needs class. We tried really hard, but ultimately we're pretty thick. Our team are the same. Even if they wanted to show heart, their legs won't carry them. Interesting analogy, Nick P. And Siddharth says, Pisharity, this amount of press leaks from the club during this break shows the state we are in. Name me another club which does the same in terms of players scouted, João Felix, and how they finally got it right. Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Smash a like on the video. We're back tomorrow morning. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so we'll be live. He's already given us a load of interesting stuff in that interview with Gary. What will he give us tomorrow? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer press conference reaction tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like. Get your t-shirts in the link in the video description, and I'll speak to you all soon.